Hey everyone, so today I'd like to talk a bit about the scope feature in Mergify Merge Queue. So what scope is useful for is mostly for monorepos where you want to split your repo in different parts. So what you do with scopes is that you're going to say to the merge queue which part of your code base is going to be affected by a pull request. So the way you do that is pretty simple, is either you don't use any tooling like Bazel, NX, Turborepo, things like that. And in that case, you can use something as simple as we do use, which is file-based scoping, or you can integrate those tools directly or use the API to upload to Mergify Merge Queue, which scope is being affected by your pull request. So once you do that, you can define all your scopes. For example, here we have installer, dashboard, Docker images, engine, which is our main Python project. And you can use standard inclusion, exclusion of files with file patterns, pretty simple to use. We use also that to trigger our CI and define which CI gets run based on which files are modified. But that's like unrelated to Mergify directly, that's part of GitHub Actions. And when we have that, we can basically build smart batches. So we don't use batch internally at Mergify, we use like batch size of 1, so each PR is tested independently. But if you use batching, we can group in a smart way the PR directly into a batch affecting the same scope. And once they enter the merge queue, so we have those PRs basically being grouped by scopes and being tested together, meaning, for example, that this PR here is only waiting for the PR in front of it with the same scope, so this one from dashboard, and same for this one, which is going to wait for the one before with the same scope engine. So you have both parallel lanes, basically, parallel merge queue for each of your PRs, depending on which scope they affect, meaning you can have frontend being tested and merged, and if PR from backend are also in the queue and don't touch frontend, they can be tested in parallel and they don't affect each other, especially when you have failure scenarios, when one PR is broken, for example. That does not affect the other part of the scope and the other part of the queue. You are just having independent lanes into your queue, which makes it very efficient to have things tested in a monorepo.